got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I got peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. 死んだ天性 I was born like this, it's wild. Immaculate conception, I just felt like this before, like this was Yoshi, one new weapon. I know
Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra! Hey guys, and welcome to What If Goku Was in Fairytale Part 8. Now, I know I said a light goal for you guys, but you know what? No light goal. I've been too far away from this series, and this is one of the series that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So yeah, no light goal. For the rest of this series, no light goal. That's just the one treat that I wanted to give you guys. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get right into the story. Now, some things I do want to mention. If it upsets some of you, I am sorry. But I'm not really going to go into the Adalos arc that well. I'm not really going to go into it at all. Such as I want to do something else for this story. I want to do something. I want to focus on Goku more of this story. That whole arc is focused on this main events, but I actually want to focus on Goku more of this story. So Goku and Vegeta are going to have their own story together, and Gohan is going to go with the team stuttering. Anyway, Gohan's going to go with the team to Adalos with Miss Carla, Natsu, and all them, and he's going to have his own fight up there with his own introverted counterpart. Now, I'll go into that story later on in the video, but now we're going to focus on Goku and Vegeta's story. So before the city had got sucked into the sky by the magical weapon in Adalos that's using to suck up all the energy, Goku and Vegeta, Goku was approached by Makarov, and he said there's some kind of tyrant going around blowing up civilizations, causing a lot of mayhem. He's in charge. Well, it's not in charge. I fear that he's come here looking for you two. Now, Makarov points at Goku and Vegeta gets a sweat by this, but then he smiles, and then Vegeta just even erupts in the aura, and Makarov tells him to not do that here. We can't afford to have the guild broken again. Makarov was sweating, and Vegeta just powers down. Goku says, "Who is this tyrant guy? I don't know what his name is, but I know he's very feared. And he won't leave this planet until he finds you two." Just got a notification from that. Well, not a notification. Basically a letter or a telegram saying that to meet him at these coordinates. Now, Goku and Vegeta set off on their journey. And this is deemed to be like a S-ranked class journey. So Goku and Vegeta heads off on their journey. Now, Wendy wants to go with Vegeta, so does Gohan wants to go, but they tell them no, this could be potentially dangerous. Even he warns Urza that this is dangerous. Urza even says no. This could potentially be someone that Goku and Vegeta has worked for in the past, way long time ago, before he even came to this planet as a kid and joined the Dark Guild. This guy is known as Frieza. And this is where Vegeta starts to tell them that these two, him and Goku, are not from this world. They're from a distant world known as Planet Vegeta. And it was home of a warrior race called the Saiyans. They were ruthless, violent, took over civilizations, destroyed planets, and sold planets and stuff like that. That's not who I am anymore. It's definitely not who he is anymore. Now, basically, Goku, I don't know if I mentioned this in the story, but if I did, correct me in the comments below, but Goku would look at Vegeta very shocked at this because he didn't know that he was a Saiyan. He didn't even know that he came from a planet. He thought he always grew up here. Anyway, sorry I had to swallow that. So now that Goku and Vegeta are off on their own journey, this would be right around the time they get halfway there and then they run into the tyrant known as Frieza. Now, they didn't necessarily run into him. They had miniature battles, such as taking out Dodoria, Zarbon, and taking out, what's the name? The other fodder trash. Anyway, so as Frieza gets out of his spaceship, he instantly goes to his final form. not wasting any time, not even want to gauge in power with these two. He just wants to get this over with as fast as he can. He spent enough time on this wretched planet. He, for God knows what, he wanted to blow it up at any given moment, and could have if he wanted to. Now, just think about that. That's some scary shit. Anyway, now this is happening while the whole events of the Edalos arc is happening. Now as the Saiyans get ready to battle Frieza, they get into a stance and Frieza instantly powers up, and they get shocked by this. Goku and Vegeta immediately goes into Super Saiyan. They not wanting to waste any time with this Frieza guy. Frieza is shocked to see two Super Saiyans standing in front of him, like shocked that he stops powering up, but then regains his composure. Frieza has a sweat on his forehead, and he didn't anticipate this, but good thing he trained for that 1 month. Now, it's nothing too crazy or anything. Don't expect Frieza to be like, oh no, Frieza's go. He trained for 1 month. That nigga got the golden form. No. This Frieza is strong enough. Just listen to the story, and it'll be further explained. Anyway, let's continue. So Frieza continues powering up, and he charges at Goku and Vegeta, and he punches Vegeta in the stomach and kicks Goku in the face, and the both of them go flying, and immediately all three of them get into a fist battle with each other. Now Frieza has the upper hand in terms of power and speed, but Goku and Vegeta are not necessarily they're working together, but it's like the both of them attacking Frieza is throwing him off a little bit, but he's still regaining his composure, and Frieza uses his tail and wraps it around Goku's neck, flinging him towards Vegeta. He crashes into Vegeta, and the both of them hit the ground, creating a big dust cloud. Now Frieza lifts up his hands and extends them towards Vegeta and Goku. Well, he just you know how Vegeta, when Frieza was getting ready to shoot a death ball at you? Something like that. But he sends out miniature ki blasts and start blasting Goku and Vegeta. Now, Goku and Vegeta are trying to dodge these ki blasts over and over and over, just jumping all over the terrain. Now, Goku powers up and instantly yells out and goes into Super Saiyan 2. Now, Goku charges at Frieza, and Frieza instantly sees this power in Goku, and he does not hesitate. Frieza was only using at least 25% of his power right now just to fight against these two. He wanted to gauge in power. Now Frieza bumped his power up to 50%. Now he's matching a Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Now the both of them are fighting. Well, not 50%. He jumped his power up to 85% just to match Super Saiyan 2 Goku. He's at 85% right now. Still in his final form, not buffed up or anything, but still, he's only using 85%. Now, Goku and Vegeta are still tagging at Frieza, but Frieza's now having a better time, but he's still struggling because Goku's power. He's trying to focus on Goku, but still keeping Vegeta at bay. I mean, he's way above where Vegeta is at right now. His only focus is on Goku, who seems to be the strongest out of the two. So Vegeta instantly throws a punch at Frieza, where Frieza dodges, elbows Vegeta directly in the chest, and punch Goku directly in the jaw. And the both of them go shooting through the terrain. Now this is where Frieza does his iconic laugh. I'm sorry if I hurt your ears with that, and that's the only time you get a Frieza laugh out of me. Anyway, Frieza does his iconic laugh, and Goku and Vegeta are on the ground, battle damage. Frieza floats to the ground and says, "Is this all you monkeys have to offer? I would have thought you would have been stronger than this. So all that waiting and for nothing. I should have blew up this planet a long time ago. But, you know what? I'll just torture you a little bit more. This is something I feared. I feared that you monkeys would evolve, so it was good to get rid of you." And this is where Frieza charges at Goku and Vegeta, punching them with various amounts of attacks, slamming them against the ground, and then he then sends out, sorry I stuttered there, but he then sends out these rings. I don't know what it was, something that paralyzed you, so Frieza could throw these rocks at you, something like that. So he would use these paralyzations and grab Goku and Vegeta and throw them through mountains. Now Goku and Vegeta would get up from this, and they would be heavily battle damaged. Goku is not even thinking that they can actually beat this guy. Now, this is where Goku would suggest something to Vegeta. And he would say, "On my journey when I was training, I had met this friend of mine. He was from another world. We were on a mission to stop this one guy. And he told me he was a Supreme Kai. He had gave me these earrings. And this is where Vegeta would be looking at Goku. And Goku would say, Vegeta, we have to combine our bodies. We have to combine our potential. And Vegeta will scoff at Goku and says, as if I ever would fuse with a clown like you. I can handle him on my own, Kakarot. I don't need your help. Vegeta flies off and Goku just scoffs at this, putting the earrings back in his pocket and says, this idiot. And the both of them charge right back at Frieza, with Frieza even smirking at this. He back fist Vegeta directly into the ground and rushes over and punches Goku directly in the stomach. Now Goku falls back into Super Saiyan 1, and this is where Goku coughs out blood from this attack. And then he, like Frieza, he grabs Goku and Vegeta by the leg and starts slamming them over and over throughout the terrain and throws them directly into, directly through, all throughout. How do I put this? So you know how when Goku flew out the water and he kicked Frieza, they would go skidding through the terrain just like that, just basically causing a lot of destruction as the, rubble stops their fall, I guess. Anyway, Frieza then starts barraging them with Ki Blast over and over and over and over until Goku creates a field, creates an opening to where he comes out of the dust cloud, punches Frieza directly in the jaw and sends him flying. Now that might have been the only opportunity that Goku had to create an opening with that. It was something that he had a technique that he used. It was something like Mirage. So Frieza thought he seen a version of Goku right beside him, but no, that wasn't the case. Goku was still in the terrain. He just used some kind of technique that he was learning during his journey. Going more of that later. But it was something just similar to how Piccolo can clone himself, but it wasn't that clone. It was just like an after image, something like that. But it tricked Frieza into giving Goku enough time. Now this is where Goku and Vegeta would eat a Senso bean. And this is where, because Goku gave him one and he said, take this will put us back in fighting condition. And Goku and Vegeta would take the bean. And this is where Vegeta would say, give me the earring. And Goku would say, are you sure? Just give it to me before he comes back. We only got a few seconds at this. So Goku would throw Vegeta the earring, and the both of them would have the earring, and Goku would put his on, and Vegeta would put his on. And then they would merge into one. Now, this would create Vegito for the first time in the story. I merged Vegeta and Goku. I got to the point that I always wanted to get to, and it's sad to say doing it against Frieza, but we're really not sad to say, because, and if you're complaining about something, let's just clear this up right now. It took Frieza 4 months to catch up to Goku and Vegeta, who was a Super Saiyan Blue. I'm pretty sure all you know this, but I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain, but if I do, for some of you that don't, it only took Frieza 4 months to catch up to Goku and Vegeta, who was training to get Super Saiyan Blue. Now, mind you, it took Goku and Vegeta over a year, if I'm right, possibly even longer than that, to even obtain Super Saiyan Blue. So that just lets you know that Frieza got some amazing potential at that. Now, training in just 1 month, getting just 1 month of training, I think would put him right above Super Saiyan 2. Just right above Super Saiyan 2, possibly on the verge of cracking Super Saiyan 3, or Extended Super Saiyan 2, whichever one you want to put it, or Super Saiyan Rage, but even just above Super Saiyan 2. Anyway, so Goku and Vegeta ended up fusing and turning and morphing into Vegito. Now, Vegito comes out and says, I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I should just put that as a voice line. I want to get copyrighted though. Anyway, I just put that as a voice line. I like that. Anyway, so Goku and Vegeta would come out, and it would say their natural line. And then we get to the part to where Vegito starts toying with Frieza. Jesus. He starts toying with Vegeta just like, I said it again, didn't I? Frieza. Jesus. Vegito starts toying with Frieza, punching him, kicking him, just delivering combos and blows, even mocking Frieza sometimes. And Frieza would say, "What is this? What happened to those two Saiyan monkeys?" And Vegito would say, "They're right here. Right in your face, Frieza. I am the fusion between Goku and Vegeta. I am Vegito." And Frieza says, yes, I heard you say that. So the two of you have merged together. No matter. I am still stronger than both of you. Now, Frieza would barrage Vegito with a whole bunch of ki blasts over and over. As the smoke clears and he stops firing ki blasts, Vegito is there unscathed and no damage done to him. Now he cracks his neck to the right and he cracks his neck to the left. And then he just rolls his shoulder blades and then rolls his arm and says, that feels good. Oh, my back. You know what? Since this is a new body, I gotta kind of get into it, you know? I gotta just kind of break into the body. Just kind of catch my feels, you know? And Frieza would be like, "Hey, you're mocking me. You die!" And he would start shooting more ki blasts at Vegito. Now, Vegito would be smiling at this, teleport from the ki blast, and be right in Frieza's face and punch him directly into the nose, then punch Frieza into the stomach, and then knee him in the face. Now, Frieza would back away from Vegito, and Vegito would look at Frieza and say, now, I know you're being a tyrant and all, but do you know how displeasing it looks for a tyrant to have his nose bleeding? You should clean yourself up. You're a disgrace. As Frieza wipes the blood from his nose, Frieza instantly powers up to 100%. Not like that. He's using 100% of his final form. He still has that big ass 100% form. Or I don't really know how those kind of forms works, but I'm gonna mostly get into like that, just trying to see, because I think Frieza was using 100% in his final form, or so to speak, whatever. But this is how it's gonna be. He's using 100% in his final form, but still has another transformation on top of that being his 100% buff form. Anyway, so let's continue. Frieza then has veins in his eyes. He's angry. He's furious. Now he wants to kill Vegito. This guy is making a mockery of him, the emperor of the universe. And Vegito even smiles at Frieza and waves his hand as a motion to come on, take me. Well, he's telling Frieza, you know how he did the Super Boo when he's saying, "Come on, I want you to charge me." Now, Frieza is looking at Vegito and he charges Vegito through throwing a lot of punches, but Vegito just dodges Frieza in the air and then swoops down and kicks him directly in the face and delivers so many punches to Frieza's face that he can't even counter. It's like this guy is moving too fast for him to even see. And then Vegito kicks Frieza away and sends a Big Bang attack at Frieza, which surprisingly damages the tyrant. Now, Frieza is looking at Vegito and Vegito smiles and says, "You're a joke, Frieza. This is not even my full power yet. And now I'm gonna make a mockery of you. Just like you were saying you were using 25%, I'm not even using 10% right now." But to make this battle even more interesting, just to see just how out-leagued you are, Vegito clutches his fist, gets into a stance, and he screams out. And this yellowish aura starts emanating over Vegito as he transforms into Super Saiyan. Frieza is now terrified at the power this guy is displaying. The two of them were just a joke to Frieza, but this guy combined, he's thinking of blowing the planet up right here and now. But Vegito is right in his face, punches Frieza directly in the nose, kicks Frieza directly in the stomach, and then grabs Frieza directly by his leg, slams him into the ground, into the earth terrain, and then gets into a stance where he says, he stretches his arms out. And then he puts them together. He cuffs them together as these yellow shocks are orbiting this orb in Vegito's hand. Vegito yells out, "Kamehameha!" Final Kamehameha, as he shoots this beam of swirling blue-yellow energy at Frieza, and then this eradicates the tyrant completely. Vegeta got bored with Frieza, seeming as if he wasn't really much of a challenge, so he eradicates the tyrant completely. Power is back down to base form, and now Goku and Vegeta are still fused, so he then just journeys back to his guild. Once he get there, everything was settled out with the whole Adonis arc, and everything was completely fine with that. And everybody is looking at this Vegito guy. Who is this guy right here? They get into a battle stance because they don't know if this guy is a threat or a foe. But Wendy and Urza are too much familiar with this. Wendy can tell that Vegeta's energy is in there, and Gohan and Urza can pretty much tell. Pretty much not the ones that are not too far off. The ones that got caught off guard were the ones that were not too familiar with Goku and Vegeta. Not like that. It's not too familiar with change of appearance, put it that way. Now, Goku and Vegeta would instantly diffuse since the timer of the fusion ran out, and they would be back in their regular forms. Now, Vegeta swears to the earth that he would not do that again. He likes to be in his own body, and just something about getting stronger and not using fusion. He sees that as some kind of cheat to power. But it helped him defeat Frieza, so he's happy about that. Anyway, so the rest of everything will continue, and the group will get back acquainted with each other. And then most of the time, Goku and Vegeta would be doing some training to help Vegeta unlock Super Saiyan 2. Now, this is where we get into the whole S-rank class arc. Now, with this arc was some things that I wanted to do with this. When they go to Tenru Island. Now, pretty much, if I haven't mentioned before, some of the guild members, they do know how to fly. Basically, magic and having the manipulation of that was somehow formed Goku was teaching them ki manipulation, but in their way, it would kind of be like magic manipulation. So there's some further things that I do want to basically explain. So Gray's version of a Kamehameha is like a beam of ice, some kind of like a freezing beam that's at you, but it will hurt you basically. And Natsu's, like I explained, is basically a beam of fire. More like explanatory during the way. Urza basically has like sword manipulation, but she's learned like ki. So ki is there basically like it's life energy, just like magic is like a life source too. But ki is there, so Urza was able to learn like a Kamehameha wave too, and basically that's it. So some of the guild members, they know how to fly, they know how to use their powers and stuff like that, but just can't utilize ki in the way Goku and Vegeta utilize ki. They have to do it in the way of their magic, and to them it took them longer to fly, since it only took Goku a while to do so. I mean, not even a while though, because since he has ki manipulation, and ki is different from magic, but being the same thing, it's very confusing. But anyway, just know that some of the guild members, they know how to fly. I will release the names, so like in the future when we get to like part 10 or part 11, even if this series stretches that far. But anyway, so let's continue on. So now we're getting ready for the S-Class Mage Trial and the promotion for Tenru Island. Now, Makarov announces that this will be held on Tenru Island, just like I said, where the first master, Mavis Vermilion, is buried. So everyone gets prepared for the challenge and heads out for Tenru Island. Now, they all rush to Tenru Island. No need for a boat. No need to go to the port that they did in canon. They all just jump up into the air and rush to the island, knowing its coordinates, knowing the directions. Now, Goku and Urza are already there since they're a couple. They're married. So they were going to be together, and they're going to be standing in the... I guess it was... since they already had went down C, because Natsu had went down the path E, thinking it was going to lead him to Urza when it led him to Gildarts, but I think Urza was on path. Either way, let's just continue on. So they all get there, and everything pretty much goes the same way it did in canon, with Urza and Goku easily defeating Juvia and Luzana. Gildar is basically teaching Natsu about fear and how to use that against opponents, and basically using the opponent's weakness against them, but still get beat by Gildarts, and everything would just play out as normal as it did in canon, with everyone just basically using tactics against people. Now, for the teams, Mist wouldn't be on Wendy's team. It would be Vegeta. And just like I said, you know Vegeta and Wendy's relationship with each other. It would be very strong with each other. So Loki and Gray would have a very hard time dealing with these two, especially Wendy with her Dragon Force and like using some extent of using Ki at her disposal. But mostly this is due to her dragon side, like her Dragon Slayer magic, her Sky Dragon Slayer magic. She was more keen with it, more adept with it. Like her force was just second nature to her, and she was just jumping all over the area. And basically, Gray and Loki couldn't even counterattack them because they were moving so fast. Now, So as everything's continuing on, Vegeta gets this sense of energy, and so does Goku. He gets this like bad feeling from something, like he can sense it far away. Now remember what I said, none of these people can like sense like Ki and everything. Gohan is still at the mage. Now as far as Gohan, he's not going to participate in this because he's too young, you know that. So Gohan would still be at the guild, since he's kind of bummed out that he didn't get to go. But when he gets older, he wants to believe that he can try out for the S-Class Mage arc, when S-Class Mage trials on Tenru Island. But he was too young to go this time. Goku didn't necessarily want to leave him behind, but Makarov wanted him to be the islands because he wanted to motivate. He wanted Goku to be there to push people, like push the individuals that are trying out for this like. Basically Fairytale's S-Class promotion, to basically encourage them even more. Sounds something like going, my mom and dad left me here. So what do I do now? I got nothing to do. We cut over to Gohan where he's at the guild. So he's just basically just hanging out and just relaxing. There's nothing else to do. I mean, he goes on a few guild missions and stuff like that. I mean, Gohan pretty much a tough kid. He's been trained by Urza and Goku, so he pretty much can handle himself from going on a few missions. Even Macau, he even said, take my son with you. You two can basically get along. And I told you, him and Macau's son is very good friends with each other. So they would often go on a bunch of missions. I hope I pronounced his name right. Correct me in the comments below. But anyway, him and his son would go on various missions with each other. So now we come back over to Tenru Island. Now, Vegeta and Goku's suspicions were correct. They did feel a bad disturbance in the air, and it's coming their direction. Now, Vegeta smirks at this, but he tells everyone to get ready for a fight, because the Grimoire Heart is on their way to fight them. And Carla and Lily come out of the sky, and they instantly look at Mist, who was basically spying on Wendy and Vegeta this whole time, just basically gathering intel. And Vegeta instantly points a blast and shoots it at the rock that Mist was hiding behind. Mist instantly starts sweating, and all of a sudden he sees Panther Lily in his basically humanoid form, and Vegeta standing right there in front of him, aiming his hand to his face. Why are you spying on us? Who are you? And this is where Panther Lily would say, he's a spy from the council. Now, Mist would be backed into a corner as everything Panther Lily has said to him was true. He even says this, and all of a sudden, he jumps towards Wendy, who casually just leaps out of the way from the attack. He thought he was going to save Wendy, but she didn't need any saving. And then she looks at him. What were you trying to... You were trying to save me, weren't you? That's so nice. Even for someone who is trying to take down Fairytale. It's good to know that some of you council members have a heart, even though you're trying to destroy our guild. Oh well. Show yourself. I know you attacked me. And this is where Azuma would appear to be molding out of a tree. And he would say, you got some fighting spirit, girl. I'd love to see where this takes you. He cracks his knuckles and gets ready for a fight and says, get ready, because I'm finna come at you with a force of a train. Now, Vegeta laughs at this and says, do you really think you can take on her? I would love to see this. Actually, this could be good training for you, Wendy. I want to see what you can do in the face of a strong opponent. This guy is no pushover. Grimoire Heart are strong foes, so I want to see what you're capable of. Let this be your real battle. Now, Wendy gets into a fighting stance similar to that of Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga. Now, Wendy looks at Azuma and she smiles at him, instantly blitzing him with speed and punching him directly in the face. Now blood would shoot out his nose and Azuma would counterattack, kicking Wendy directly in the side with an explosion. Now Wendy would use her Sky Dragon's Air Force to block the incoming explosion and deliver an uppercut to Azuma's jaw, sending him in the sky. Now Wendy would fly up, already transforming into her Dragon Force state, and hammer fisting him to the ground. Well, I don't know, it's got to be another attack name for that. But she basically backhand him into the ground as the terrain started to crack and explode from the crash and impact from Azuma. Now, the team would back away as Vegeta tells them to back away. This is going to get very, very, very destructive. Now, the two of them are engaging in a fist brawl with each other, and Azuma is excited. He is ecstatic right now. This girl is strong, really strong. And as the both of them are trading blows, you can feel the air pressure from each fist that collides with each other as they punch and kick and throw each other to the ground. Wendy is having the time of her life. She is having so much fun fighting this guy. Some of that Saiyan nature that Vegeta has been implementing, well, basically leaking out for all her life while he was training her and they were going on missions together while they were a part of the Kate Shelter Guild, has personally leaked into her personality. Like I said, 50% of Vegeta, 50% of Wendy. Different person. Now, as the battle is raging on, the two of these titans are basically using all their power, and Wendy even takes it a step further. Her hair starts to turn a darker shade of pink as her aura then goes from a light, like a light bluish color, I think, like a greenish color, basically to that of what Goku Black's aura would look like. Her aura would be a dark pink with this black mist around it, and then she would punch him with the thunderous shock as it would seem as if everything would stop in that moment. And then she would send him hurling towards the ground. Now Wendy would cuff her hands, and this will be her own version of a Gallic gun, as she combines the Sky Dragon energy and the air pressure and creates this kind of purplish pink beam in her hand. And she looks at Azuma and say, "Farewell, Sky Dragon's Gallic gun!" and shoots it directly at Azuma, blowing him to smoke, eradicating every existence that he was even there. Killed him on the spot. Wendy then floats right back down to the ground. Basically battle damage, but nothing too much out of the ordinary. She basically just dusts herself off and said, "How did I do?" And Vegeta said, "If you could have killed him with a Gallic gun in the first place, then why didn't you do that from the start? I want to gauge his power and see where he was standing at with me. I want to see if he was strong enough to have the battle continue. I wanted to have fun. Don't blame me for that." Vegeta even smiles at this. And now we get into basically skipping. Now, this is not me trying to skip everything, but this is me letting you know that these are stronger versions. These Fairytale members are stronger versions of their canon counterparts. Way stronger versions than their canon counterparts. With Goku and Vegeta there, not so much as Vegeta teaching them anything, because Vegeta really doesn't care about them. Not that much. I mean, he's starting to grow and lighten up to the guild. Such as, well, he's in the same, put it like this. Vegeta and Gagio, they're both in the same boat with each other. I mean, they love their guild and everything. At this point, they do love their guild, but they're in the same boat to each other. But Vegeta is just like a different species, but he still cares about the guild. Now, such as the other battles like Juvia versus Murray, I hope I pronounced that right. Zonkro versus Natsu, Elfman and Evergreen versus Rusty Rose, Capricorn versus Leo, and so on and so forth. Now, all those battles would basically go the same way, such as ULTRAAAAAA versus Gray. She would get defeated just like she did in canon, only worser. Gray wouldn't hit her with like an ice pillar, freezing her in place. No, he would hit her with like a Kamehameha ice, and no, basically freezing her with pink ice, like colored ice, because he was using his like ice demon form or something like that, basically calling that, and would defeat her very easily. Very easily. Wouldn't even be a challenge from him at that. And we would find out that Altair is his master's son. Well, master's daughter son. I'm just basically gender swap. is his master's daughter, and he defeats her in honoring his master's legacy. And everything plays out pretty much as normal. Now, Kane still gets defeated by Lucy the same way he did in canon. So that can be noted about that. And now the team goes against Hades. Now, I would go into Blue Note, but Goku and what's the name? Gildarts. Goku and Gildarts came in there and saved Kana and basically blitzing Blue Note very easily and defeating him. It wasn't even a challenge for those two. So yeah, out the picture. Now their only real threat is Hades, which Loxus came in to basically help Natsu to fight Hades. And he even tells Natsu that Hades is his grandfather, which everyone else gets there to battle against Hades. And this is where the battle we've returned to one-sided. Hades was having a hard time with Natsu, and he even used his whole demon eye thing to even gain an advantage on Natsu. And Natsu has even got this lightning fire dragon power coursing through him. Now, this is where Hades is dealing with Vegeta. He's dealing with Goku. He's dealing with Urza. He's dealing with all the Fairytale members at once. And they pose a huge threat to him. Not even his demon's eye thing can even keep a hold on against him, because Goku and Vegeta are basically blitzing him at every angle, every corner of attack. And even at that point, he thought he still can hold a candle to me, saying, I can still win, I can keep this up all day. And all of a sudden, all his magic just disappears. As Carla and Happy basically destroyed the whole, killed him, I guess. Destroyed the Grimoire Heart, the source of the magic Hades was using. So basically, ends the arc. Ends the attack of Grimoire Heart, basically defeating them. The team lets off a happy cheer as Makarov basically cancels the S-rank promotion trial, as too much is going on the island. Now, as everything's getting settled, people are getting situated, people are getting was treated for their wounds, and they're all, just getting basically treated for everything. This is where he didn't die. I mean, Hades didn't die. They basically escaped. So the three people that did escape with them would be Kane, Hades, and Rusty Rose. But their lives would be short-lived, as soon as they were escaping, Hades said, get me the key so I can awaken Zeref. And Zeref then comes out of nowhere saying, there's no need. You three are responsible for me calling Atologia. I blame all of you. Those are your crimes for calling something that destructive. Without any further words, Zeref kills Hades, and I think he kills the other two too. Gotta look into it. But I'm gonna say this in my what if he kills the other two, basically eradicating them and getting them out of the picture so they no longer exist. They're dead. Anyway, this is where it feels, cause this is where everyone on the island, their happiness, their battle experience, but their thrill from winning the battle, from facing off a strong guild, their excitement suddenly fades when they are approached with yet another threat, Atnologia. He approaches the island and then starts causing mass destruction. The team starts to fight off against Atnologia, but it's up to no prevail. Goku and Vegeta are basically battling against Atnologia with all their power, and even Atnologia is firing back at them with all his strength. Now, Atnologia towers above Goku and Vegeta. Even if they got Super Saiyan 2, I had to buff Atnologia a little bit, just a little bit, just so he can be stronger than Goku and Vegeta. But it's gonna play out in the future, because it's gonna be something that I implement when I get to part 9, part 10, when I start to get into the fun stuff when this arc, you know. Anyway, so as everything continues on, Goku and Vegeta are trying their best to hold Atnologia at bay. Makarov doesn't see anything to fight off this character, because Goku and Vegeta are still having a hard time. They're getting beaten up badly as Goku and Vegeta get swatted away, thousands of miles away, basically hit away. Imagine Zamasu. And imagine getting punched like that. The punch instantly knocked Goku and Vegeta back into their base form and sent them flying away. Urza would call out to Goku and attempt to fly to him, but Makarov said, "Stop, Urza. He will kill you in an instant. We have to set up a defensive spell. Goku and Vegeta will be alright. At least I hope they will." Every Fairytale member was shedding tears. They were crying. Even Natsu was crying because there was nothing that they could do. It was nothing that they could do to face off against this tyrant. Sorry, I had to swallow there. They were scared. They were helpless. And then all of a sudden, they were all clasping hands together as they tried to do a defensive spell to counter Analogia. But Analogia fired off a huge blast that eradicated the island, destroying the whole entire island. And then Analogia looks as the island is swallowed by water. Gone. He then flies away, basically accomplishing what he had set out to do. Now, this is where Goku and Vegeta wakes up as they were in water and they float back up to the sky. Now, they fly back to where that island was and they look to see that it was gone. There's nobody alive. Goku and Vegeta, they both are shocked by this. They try to find out. They try to search in the water. They try to see what they can find, but it's nothing there. It's gone. Everything is gone. Goku lets off a scream, and Vegeta just stands there as he thinks about Wendy and everything they've been through. She was the closest thing to a child, the closest thing to a daughter. He starts to let out tears in his eyes, and even Goku cries for his fellow friends. Vegeta even cries for his fellow guild members too, as the both of them lets out tears and a scream of anger before they just fly back to the guild and let everyone know what happened. Goku and Vegeta tells everyone that the guildmates have perished in battle. They've died. And Goku and Vegeta just sitting there, basically trying to recollect their thoughts. Everyone they knew just vanished just like that. And even Goku just pounds his fist into the table saying, "I could have been stronger." Gohan comes up to Goku with tears coming down his eyes and says, "Mom really dead? Is she really gone?" Goku looks at Gohan and just says, "Yes, Gohan. It's nothing that we can do. I don't even think we can bring them back." And then this starts the 7-year arc. Now, along these 7 years, Goku and Vegeta would be in charge of stuff. Well, still, Macau still becomes guild master, but Goku and Vegeta would be the defenses. Now, Fairytale wouldn't become the weakest, guild in Fiore, and no guilds would attack Fairytale at all. Goku and Vegeta have been training, and Gohan has been training with them. Now, over these past years, Gohan is becoming strong and strong. He even has access to Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2. Now, Goku and Vegeta are become well proficient in Super Saiyan 1 and 2, and even trying to stretch beyond that to get Super Saiyan 3. So, yeah, they're not Super Saiyan 3. Goku and Vegeta have not tried to stretch towards Super Saiyan 3. I don't even know how I mentioned that. I mean something more like Super Saiyan 4. And it's going to be more suited and fitted into this arc. Basically giving that title, Monkey King. Anyway, so Vegeta and Goku would be training as hard as they can and as much as they can, even coming up with the terms of using their Great Ape and adding Super Saiyan to their Great Ape, and even using their form to basically simmer down, so like slim down with the form. So this is where Goku and Vegeta would unlock Super Saiyan 4 throughout their training. Gohan would be ecstatic by this and say, "What is that?" Goku would be saying, well, if I were to gain a name for it, I would call it Wrathful Super Saiyan, because to be honest, they don't know this is Super Saiyan 4, so they just call it what the first name that pops up in their head. So this is at the 2-year mark where they discovered this power, and this is where we go into the arc of my own creation. Something that I wanted to do is Android 18 and Android 17. Well, the super versions of those two characters would come out. So it would be Super Android 18 and Super Android 17. Now, this is something idea that I got from the GT series, how Super Android 17, what if their character models was already like that? So say, for example, what if Super Android 17, what if there wasn't just like a regular 17? What if Dr. Gero actually made Super Android 17 and Super Android 18? Now, these two would come out, they would be a part. Well, not so much as a part of nothing. They just woke up from basically the Red Ribbon Army's base deep underground, and they woke up and then crashed up. And their main target, they crashed from out of the lab, basically collecting their thoughts. Now they're still cyborgs and everything. They're still like the regular Android 17. They're just in their super versions. Now Android 17 tells 18 that they need to find Goku and possibly Vegeta. Now, they instantly appear right in front of Fairytale and about to blast it away, but Goku and Vegeta comes right out there, sensing the energy that was getting ready to come their way. They instantly deflect the energy out of the way and cause an explosion. Now, Goku and Vegeta are looking at these two and say, we got a threat. Now, Goku and Vegeta gets into a stance and they power up to Super Saiyan 2 and challenge Android 17 and 18. Now, Android 17 and 18 get into a monologue saying, Goku, right? And says, yes, what's it to you? And this is where he said, we are creations of Dr. Gero, and we are his revenge. You're the one who destroyed everything he's basically created, and he wants revenge. Goku says, that got nothing to do with me. That guy was evil, and he needed to be destroyed. He was causing too much sorrow and pain. Android 17 begins to laugh at this and says, we could care less about Dr. Gero. I mean, I killed the guy anyway, so I don't really have no plans on following his orders or nothing like that. I just want a good fight. I just want to see where you two stand. Now, this is going to be a determining factor. I'm going to ask you guys in the comments for part 9. Should I have Super Android 13, don't keep saying 13, Super Android 17 and Super Android 18? Now, for story's sake, if you're saying it doesn't make any sense, like I said, Gero was creating Android 17 and 18 for his base design, but he wanted to make super versions of those characters. So imagine Super Android 18 and Super Android 17 instead of their regular versions. These are the two characters that are now going to be in the story. And I want you to tell me in the comments, should Goku and Vegeta destroy the both of them, or should he keep those as two potential Fairytale members? Let me know in the comments below. This is all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed part 8 to What If Fairytale. What if Goku was in Fairytale? Now, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus Ultra. Good night, guys.